Have you ever looked at your travel photos and thought, why my photos look so boring? You went to some amazing places, but your photos just didn't really capture the special feeling when you were there. I understand that feeling. For many years, I was also really frustrated. I don't know why. Is it my photography skills just not good? Or maybe I need some better camera. But turns out it's something that is completely different. I just didn't really understand some very basic things that can completely change the look and feel of my photos. So in this video, I'm going to show you some practical tips. No matter you are a complete beginner or you have been taking photos for a while, if you follow these tips, I'm sure you can level up your travel photography. And you will also enjoy your next trip a lot more. And if you stick around until the end, I got a very special tip that can tie everything together. And in case you haven't noticed, I'm in Japan right now. More precisely, I'm at Roppongi, Tokyo, right in front of the Fujifilm headquarters. A big thank you to Fujifilm for their support and sponsoring this video. And for this trip, I bought my Fujifilm X-M5 and the 2 kit lens, and all the photos that I'm going to share with you in this video are shot with this very simple and compact setup. So we are going to travel around Japan together in this video, and I'm going to show you how I use these tips to capture photo at each of the location. And I'm also going to share with you the exact location of each of the place that we are going to visit in this video. So if you are planning to visit Japan, you can also visit some of these places yourself. Okay, now we are at Shinjuku train station. This is the world's busiest train station. Over 3.5 million people uses this train station every single day. With 35 platforms and more than 200 exits, Shinjuku station is basically a maze itself. Even the locals quite often got lost inside this train station. Legend says there are people that never make it out and get trapped here forever. But Shinjuku isn't just a transportation hub. A lot of tourists would visit Shinjuku as well. We got that 3D CAD billboard just outside the train station. There are tons of shoppings, restaurants and bars around this area. For nightlife, we have the red light district Kabukicho and also other areas like Golden Gate around here as well. Shinjuku is probably the busiest spot in all of Japan at night. And if you're like me who love doing street photography, this place is a paradise. If you haven't been to Shinjuku train station, you haven't experienced Tokyo yet. When you travel, you probably want to go to some big tourist spots, and you will probably want to take some photo there as well. But the problem is, those places are usually jam-packed with lots of people, which makes it really hard to take some nice photos. So what can you do if you want to take some nice photo at those popular tourist places? Well, there are a couple things that you can do. First, think about the timing. You can choose to go to the place when it is quiet, like early mornings or late evenings. Second, think about the lens you use. Most people like to use a wide-angle lens to fit everything in. But wide-angle lenses make the people close to you look massive, and they take over the frame. Instead, step back and use a longer lens. It makes the crowd smaller and the buildings stand out more. Third, just don't fight the crowd. Use it instead. People can add energy to the photo and make the photo feel real. And if you want them less distracting, blur them out. Shoot with wide aperture or use longer focal length, but my favorite is to shoot with a slower shutter speed. Slow shutter speed can create motion blur effect to people on the street. By following these tips, even if you're at the busiest place, you should still be able to take some nice photos. Alright, now we are at Asakusa. If you visit Tokyo, you definitely would visit Asakusa. So behind me is Sensoji, this is the biggest attraction here at Asakusa. Sensoji is one of the most famous and also the oldest temple here in Tokyo. The streets around here are always buzzing. There are lots of shops, food stores, and of course, lots of tourists from both local and overseas. Yes, it can be a little bit touristy, but that's part of the charm. If you want a little break from the crowds, you can hop on a river cruise not too far from here. The cruise is about an hour and it will take you to Odaiba. If you take that cruise, then you can look at Tokyo from the river, so it's quite different. And just nearby, towering over everything, is the Tokyo Skytree, the tallest tower in the world. You can spot it easily from Asakusa. You can even walk there in less than half an hour. Do you often look at your photos and thought, the photo looks quite clean, but at the same time, it looks very boring? So, what can you do to make the photo look better? Well, the easiest way to do that is to add layers to your photo. So, when you take your photo, don't just focus on your main subject. First thing you can do is look at the background. Is there something that you can do to make the background looks more interesting? Sometimes even just move a few steps left or right, or you move down a little bit, can make a big difference to the background of your photo. And sometimes shoot the same photo with different focal length can also make a huge difference to the background as well. And then the second thing is add some foreground to your photo. You can find something and use it as a frame for your main subject. For example, find some trees, find a window, or find a bridge. There are many things that you can do to add a foreground frame to your photo. So earlier on, I shot a photo of the Tokyo Skytree, and this photo looks super boring. So how do I improve it? I went to a nearby place and used the building there as the foreground. So now the photo is not just about the Tokyo Skytree. It includes the nearby building, which adds more depth, more story to the photo. So next time when you take a photo, look around, see what background or foreground can you add to the photo. Because if you're creative, you can make your photo looks very interesting and unique, even if you are taking photo of a super popular landmark. Because Tokyo is such a huge city, so I usually like to stay in a different area each time I visit Tokyo, just to get a feel for different parts of the city. So this time I stay in Ikebukuro. The east side of Ikebukuro is packed with things to do. It's home to the world's largest anime shop, lots of film cafes, and Sunshine City, a huge shopping mall that also has the world's largest Pokemon Center and the world's biggest Gachapon store. There's no shortage of places to eat, shop, and explore. The west side though feels quite different. It's actually Tokyo's second largest red light district, just after Shinjuku's Kabukicho. This part of Ikebukuro never really sleeps. There were a few days I walked past this area after midnight and there were still lots of people on the street. So in a way, Ikebukuro feels like merging Akihabara with Shinjuku. There's also lots of events happening at Ikebukuro. When I was there, it was the second part of the Fukuro Festival. Even though it was raining all day, performers were dancing with all their energies and showed off their beautiful costumes. And everyone was just having a great time. Attending a local festival is such a fun way to really experience the culture. When you travel, you can prepare and organize a lot of things really well if you want to. But one thing you have pretty much no control is the weather. So far, my trip here to Japan, almost every single day, the weather is not good at all. So it's either cloudy or like today, it's raining. So today has been raining pretty much non-stop. Only now the rain has slowed down a little bit, but yeah, it's still raining a little bit. This is definitely not what I want. I would really prefer if the weather is better so that I can have blue sky, I can have some beautiful color. But yeah, this is life. You can't really control everything. So I do have a few tips that I can share with you guys in case you travel and the weather is also not good. So the first one is, if you take landscape photos, try not to use a wide angle lens. It's because when you take photo of the landscape photo using a wide angle lens, usually there would be a very large area in your photo that is the sky. And if it's cloudy or rainy, the sky would just be a white area that doesn't look good at all. So instead, try to use a longer focal length lens, and that can help you minimize the amount of the white sky in your photo. And next thing, because it's raining, so try to look for things that only happens when it rains. For example, look for people that like holding umbrella, maybe running, trying to dodge rain, and also look for the water puddles on the ground, and then you can get some cool reflection, especially when it's nighttime. So yeah, look for things like this that only happens when it rains, and you can still capture some pretty cool photo in another country. Now, if you want to take photo when it's raining, one thing you have to be a bit careful is whether your camera is weatherproof or not. If your camera is weatherproof, then good. Your camera should be able to withstand most kind of rain, should not be a problem. But even if your camera is not weatherproof, it doesn't mean you have to hide your camera immediately when it starts raining. Like this trip, I have been shooting every day, and as I said, it has been raining quite a bit. So my XM5, which is not a weatherproof camera, also got wet quite a bit, and so far no problem. But if you want to be a bit more careful, then one thing you could try is find a plastic bag and wrap it around your camera, and this way you can give your camera a little bit more weather protection. But yeah, just be careful, use your common sense. If it's raining too bad, then don't go out and just rely on a plastic bag, because sometimes if the plastic bag got a little hole or somewhere it's leaking a little bit, it could end up trapping water inside the bag, and that will make it even worse. So yeah, just because the weather is not good doesn't mean you would not be able to capture any nice photos. If you try to be creative, you can still capture some pretty unique and different photo no matter what kind of weather you have. Alright, today we are heading to two different places, is Enoshima and Kamakura. They are both seaside town in Kanagawa Prefecture. They both have beautiful scenery, historic temples, and a lot of old buildings as well. Enoshima and Kamakura are very close to each other, so usually people would visit both places on the same day. They are both famous tourist destinations for the locals and overseas people as well. They are around 1 hour from Tokyo, so it's very easy to do a one-day trip from Tokyo. So I started the day by going to Enoshima first. There are many different ways that you can go to Enoshima from Tokyo. For me, I choose a pretty special route. I took the Shonan monorail. And the reason why I do that is because I love monorails, and this is a very special one. This is an upside-down suspended monorail, which is very rare. When you arrive at Enoshima, if you are lucky, you can go to the viewing platform and you can even see Mount Fuji. So once you arrive by monorail, then it's about a 10-15 minutes walk, and you can walk to the Enoshima Island. It is a really lovely place with a lot of things to see, to eat, and walk around. The scenery there is just beautiful. So after spending a few hours there, I then go to Kamakura. Kamakura has many famous tourist attractions, but two of them are most famous. One is the little railway that connects Enoshima to Kamakura. If you have watched the anime Slam Dunk, then you would definitely recognize this railway. And the other one is a big outdoor Buddha statue. To be honest, even though a lot of people going to Enoshima and Kamakura as a combined one-day day trip, but I think you can easily spend one whole day in either of these locations. One reason why our travel photo doesn't look as good as our real-world experience is because our brains are just too good. When we see something in real life, our brain quietly does all sort of clever things for us. It will automatically zoom into part of our vision to find the most interesting thing to focus on. And if someone walks past in front of us, the brain will remove that for us, so we may not even see it. And our brain may even connect something we saw just a little while ago without us even realizing it. But when you look at a photo, your brain doesn't have all those information, so it is not able to help you automatically connect multiple things or remove background or all those things for you. And that's why a photo quite often just doesn't capture the real-world experience. So what can we do? First thing, after you took a photo, check the photo on your camera screen. Ask yourself two questions when you look at the photo. Is there something you can add to make the photo look stronger? Or is there something that you can remove to make the photo look tidier? If the answer is yes to any of these questions, then try to take another photo and improve your composition. Move around a little bit, use a different focal length. Just try and see is there something that you can do to make the photo look better. So the idea is train your brain and your eyes to be able to detect what are the good and bad things in your photo. So in the future, your eyes will automatically see all those issues before you even take the photo. And now you manage to find the best composition, but don't put away your camera yet. The next thing that you can do is, after you took your photo, take at least 2 more photos. The first photo is to show the surrounding area. Either use a wide-angle lens or you just move further away so that you include a bit more surrounding area. And then the next photo is a more close-up detail shot. Find something you think is very interesting and take a photo of that. So then, when you look at these 3 photos together, it's pretty much like what your brain would do when you're looking at something in real world. Your brain can use all the photos together to add more context, more story, and more depth to your photo. After visiting Kamakura, on the way back to Tokyo, I made a quick stop in Yokohama, since it's almost exactly halfway between the two. Yokohama is Japan's second largest city, home to over 3.5 million people. For tourists, it doesn't get as much attention as Tokyo or Osaka, but that's actually part of why I like it. It's still busy, but it doesn't feel overwhelming. You get to see a bit more of everyday local life here. In places like Tokyo or Kyoto, sometimes you see more tourists than locals. The cool thing is, Yokohama is only about 30 minutes from Tokyo, so it feels like you travel somewhere new, but without the long trip. Walking around Yokohama during the day is fun and relaxing, but I especially love Yokohama at night. There's a giant Ferris wheel near the waterfront, part of the Cosmo World theme park, and the whole area lights up beautifully after dark. There's also a short cable car ride called the Yokohama Air Cabin, which gives you a great view of the Ferris wheel and the harbor from above. You can even get a combo ticket for both. There are lots of other cool spots too, like the Cup Noodles Museum. So if Tokyo ever feels a bit too much, Yokohama is the perfect quick escape. When you arrive a new destination and see some amazing scenery, the first instinct is usually to grab your camera and start shooting right away. But actually, don't do that. Try to resist the temptation and keep your camera in the bag for a little while. Why? First, it gives you the chance to really enjoy the scenery, so you get to see it with your own eyes, not just through a viewfinder or the LCD screen. The reason we travel is to experience new places ourselves, not just to look at them through a camera. Of course, taking photos for later is important, but don't forget to enjoy the moment while you're there. Second, waiting before you take your first photo helps you explore more. If you walk around and look around first, you almost always find better angles. I can guarantee your photos will turn out stronger this way. And don't just look forward, remember to look back and look up, and also try shoot from a higher or lower position. Quite often, that's how you find the most interesting thing and the most interesting composition. I used to shoot in RAW only and I overshoot. So after a trip, I come home with a few thousand photos. My plan was always to edit them all, but life gets busy and in reality, most of these photos just sat on my computer untouched. It means my family never even get to see the photos. These days, I shoot JPEG plus RAW. Here are some unedited JPEG files shot using my XM5 using film simulation during this trip. The JPEGs are ready to share right away with family and friends, and I still keep the RAW files, so if I have time, I can edit them more. And with modern cameras like the Fujifilm X-M5 I'm using this trip, the JPEG straight out of camera are already beautiful. When using film simulations, because there are so many different film simulations you can choose, sometimes it's quite hard to decide which film simulation you want to use. But Fujifilm camera has a setting called film simulation bracketing. If you enable this feature, then you can choose up to 3 different film simulations. So for every photo you shoot, the camera would generate 3 different JPEGs using the 3 different film simulations you choose. This way, you don't have to settle on just one. You can experiment with 3 different film simulations at the same time. Alright, now we're in Uji. It's a little city in the Kyoto prefecture, not too far from the Kyoto city. It is also a popular tourist destination, but definitely not as crowded as Kyoto. Uji is most famous for its green tea, matcha. You see matcha everywhere and everything is made of matcha, from ice cream to desserts to noodles. But Uji is not just about tea. There are also some well-known attractions. For example, the building behind me is the building on the Tengen-kon Building Temple. A lot of people think the Nintendo Museum is in Kyoto City, but it's actually right here in Uji. This is actually my 3rd time coming back here. Uji just have that special balance. It's close to Kyoto, but it feels calmer. You can still find quiet, beautiful corners to enjoy without fighting through big crowds. And of course, they have the delicious matcha ice cream that I absolutely love. But there are also a few famous busy tourist spots here as well. Visiting famous landmarks and taking photos there is always fun. I mean, who doesn't want the iconic photo of the Shibuya crossing or some other famous building, right? They look great on Instagram and they are a nice way to remember the trip. But after many trips, I realized the photos I really treasure are not those postcard photos for Instagram. Instead, they are the candid photos of some little moments, or maybe photos of that little street that we walk past every day. At the time, these photos might seem ordinary or even boring, but years later, those are the photos that bring back the strongest memories. That's because what makes a photo special isn't the location itself. It's the memory and emotion tied to it. A landmark photo could belong to anyone. You see them on Instagram every day. But a photo of the train station next to your hotel or the random street that you walk down every night, that's uniquely yours. So here's my tip. Don't just chase the big famous spots. Pay attention to the everyday places. One of my favorite things to photograph when I travel is the train stations. Most people just rush through them, but they actually show a lot about the local culture. Like this train station here in Uji, it's small, quiet, and beautifully simple. Completely different from the busy Shinjuku station that I got lost in so many times. Another idea is to give yourself a little project. For this trip, I decided to photograph the vending machines here. They are everywhere, but each one has small differences. Doing this not only makes travel more fun, but also help me notice details that I usually walk past. And your project doesn't even have to be a particular subject. It could be a color, a shape, or a theme. It's just a way to train your eyes and appreciate the beauty in everyday life. This video is one of the biggest projects that I have ever done on this channel. It took me over 1 year to prepare and a special trip to Japan to film this video and also take all the photos in different locations. So if you have been enjoying this video, I would really appreciate if you can like this video, share it with your friends who may be interested, and you can also drop a comment below to share with us your travel photography experience and tips. It would greatly help how this video can perform on YouTube. Thank you very much to all of your support, and let's get back into the video. Okay, now we're in Kyoto. If you visit Japan, Kyoto is one of the places that you would most likely going to visit. After all, Kyoto, Tokyo, and Osaka are three of the most popular tourist destinations for people visiting Japan. On streets like this one, there are probably more tourists than local people. And the reason is pretty easy to see. Kyoto is the heart of traditional Japan. Temples, old streets, wooden buildings, and if you're lucky, you might even see geisha walking to their workplace. But if you do see geisha on the street, please don't take photos of them and definitely don't chase them, as not only it is very disrespectful, taking unauthorized photo of geisha actually breaks the Japanese law as well. Personally, my favorite place here in Kyoto has to be Kiyomizu-dera, or the Clear Water Temple. And that's where I'm walking to right now. But it's not just the temple itself that I love, it's the whole surrounding area. Walking around here definitely feels like stepping back in time. The biggest downside? This place can get really crowded. So far, it's not too bad. But I remember last year when I came here, this place was completely jam-packed. So we'll see later on, does it get better or worse? I actually came here from Tokyo this morning. It's about 2 hours by the bullet train, Shinkansen. Leaving Tokyo in the morning and you can arrive here around midday. And if you are coming from Osaka, it's even easier. Just 15 minutes by the bullet train or about 14 minutes on a local train. So if you are planning to visit both Osaka and Kyoto, stay in one place and make a day trip to the other is a smart way to save time and avoid moving hotels too often. Now, able to take some nice photos during the trip is great. But what you do with the photos after the trip is probably just as important, if not more. Sure, you might share a few photos on social media, but then what? For most of us, the photos just get saved on a hard drive somewhere as a backup. The problem is, after just a few years, they are almost impossible to find again. And if your family wants to see those photos, well, good luck. They can never find those photos. So here is my suggestion. Take your time to actually print some of your photos after the trip. I know, Printing photos feels a bit old school, but honestly, nothing beats holding a physical print in your hand. It's so much easier for you and your family to enjoy these memories compared to digging through different hard drives. But let's be real, life gets busy. Sometimes after a trip, we never get around to print those photos. I am actually also guilty of that. There are family trips that I still haven't printed photos from, even though I have been meaning to. So here I got another idea. Bring an instant camera with you. Something like the Fujifilm X-M5 is perfect because you get the print immediately. No editing, no worrying about forgetting later. Your memory is instantly tangible. So instead of just bring home a cheap souvenir that will just sit in a drawer, you are bringing home something personal, your own photo. You can put the X-M5 print in a photo album or stick it on the fridge or your wall. It's a little something to remember it by, and that means so much more than any generic souvenir. If you come to Japan, you have to do some camera shopping. And if I have to pick one camera shop that I say you definitely have to check out, it will be the camera shop behind me. This is Yodobashi Akiba. This is a 9th-floor mega store that is the biggest electronics store in Japan and possibly in the whole world. This shop doesn't just sell cameras, but they also sell all different sort of electronic appliances and many other things as well. You could easily spend whole day browsing just this mega store. So let's go in and check out the camera floor. When I first started traveling, I was terrified of missing that perfect shot. So I packed everything. Multiple cameras, a pile of lenses, every accessory I could fit. My camera bag felt like I was carrying a small donkey. Sure, I had a lens for every situation, but my photos didn't get any better. Instead, I got tired before I even left the hotel. I spent the whole day stressing about which lens to use, constantly swapping lenses, and annoying my family who just want to keep moving. These days, I travel light. One camera, 2 lenses. One lens stays on the camera most of the time, and the other only comes out occasionally when needed. Yes, I might miss a shot or two because I don't have that special lens, but that is okay. Just like in life, you don't need to have everything. For this trip, I used the Fujifilm X-M5 with the 2 kit zoom lenses XC15-45 and XC50-230. The 15-45 is my main lens for majority of photos. I don't have to swap lenses every 5 minutes, so there's less risk of dust getting onto the sensor. Modern kit lenses are way better than people give them credit for, especially when paired with the latest cameras which have really good high ISO performance. So my setup is really compact and very versatile, and I think it delivers very good results as well. Traveling light means I can walk more, see more, and shoot more, and actually enjoy the trip instead of getting worn out and hiding in the hotel. Another bonus is that a small camera doesn't attract as much attention. Japan is super safe. I can walk around at night with my camera without worrying, but in some other countries, a smaller setup can save you a lot of potential problems. All the photos in this video were taken with just these 2 lenses. I hope it inspires you to try traveling light next time. Oh, and one more thing. A lot of people love buying a new camera right before a big trip. It's exciting, I get it, but unless you are already very familiar with this camera, a new camera can slow you down. So if you are planning to get one, buy the camera at least 1 or 2 weeks before your trip. That way, you have time to get familiar and comfortable with it, so that you can focus on the fun part, taking photos when you are traveling. The next morning, I headed to Ueno. There are many things to do in Ueno, but this time, I want to go for a walk through the Ueno Park. It is a big public park right next to the Ueno station. It's filled with temples, shrines, and museums. It is the perfect spot to slow down and spend a relaxing half day or even full day away from Tokyo's busy streets. If you visit during cherry blossom season, it is one of the best places in Tokyo to see cherry blossom. But just be prepared, Ueno Park will be really busy around that period. And I mean busy by Japanese standards. Ueno is also really close to Akihabara and Asakusa, only a 20 to 30 minutes walk or about a 5 minutes train ride. So you can even try visit all of them in one day if you have limited time in Tokyo. Oh, and if you are traveling in Japan, definitely get an IC card. There are a few different types like Suica, Ikoka, but they all work virtually the same for tourists. You can use them to ride trains, buses, or even to pay at convenience stores or other places. And if you are an iPhone user, you can add an electronic version of the IC card using your Apple Wallet app, so that's super convenient. Now, even though I recommend you guys not to bring too many camera gears when you are traveling, but there are a few accessories that I would actually recommend you guys to bring because they are not too big or heavy, but they are very useful when you want to take photo during your trip. The first one is a CPL filter. So it is like a polarizing sunglasses for your camera. It is very useful because by rotating the CPL filter, you could adjust the amount of refraction and can change the contrast and saturation of your photo. So it is very useful when you are taking landscape photo. You can increase the color saturation and reduce refraction. And you can also see through water as well. CPL filter is also very useful if you want to take some photo through glasses. By adjusting the CPL filter, you can reduce the amount of refraction in your photo. But if you want to further decrease the amount of refraction, there is a flexible rubber hood that you can buy from many camera shops. It can be completely collapsed, so you can fit it into your camera bag quite easily. And when you want to use it, you just expand it and push it against the window, and that can dramatically reduce the amount of refraction in your photo. Another accessories that I will recommend you guys to bring is a battery charger. It may sound a bit strange because most cameras these days can be USB-C charged, and a lot of time the camera doesn't even come with a battery charger. So that is good enough for normal days, but when you are traveling, quite often one battery wouldn't last the whole day, so you may bring 2 or 3 batteries. So if you just rely on the camera itself to charge the battery when you go back to the hotel in the evening, then you have to wait and charge them one by one. That may take a while. So I would recommend you buy a separate battery charger, especially one of those dual charger, so that you can charge more than one battery at a time, so that when you go back to the hotel, you just pop all the batteries into the charger and then just leave it like that, and then the next morning your 2 batteries will be fully charged. In terms of tripod, I usually don't bring tripod when I go for a trip, unless it's a trip that I know there is a special photo that I really want to capture and that requires a tripod, then I may consider bringing a tripod. So a tabletop tripod could be a good compromise because it is very small. You can fit it into your camera bag easily. And if you want to do some long exposure photos, you can still use it to help you to do that. And if you are an iPhone user, I would definitely recommend you get some AirTag and put it into your camera bag or attach it to your other accessories and bag as well. It is very useful in case you forgot something or you got your camera gear stolen. You can track down your gear immediately. Actually, even this trip, my AirTag already saved me because there was one time that I forgot one of my bag and then I got a notification on my phone telling me I left one thing behind. So I went back and picked it up immediately. Now, if you're an Android user, unfortunately, I do not know of any good alternative to AirTag. But if you know of something that is good for Android user, drop a comment below, let us know as well. So here are some of the accessories that I highly recommend that you bring when you are traveling. But if you got any other great travel camera accessories, let me know, share it in the comment below so we can talk about it. Okay, we are visiting Nara today. It's only about a half-hour train ride from either Osaka or Kyoto. It's a really easy day trip from both cities. There are plenty of famous spots in Nara, like Todaiji Temple, but for me, the #1 reason is the Nara Park, home to over 1,000 deer. Oh, by the way, deer in Japanese is shika, in case you want to say hi to them. Actually, the deers in Nara will even bow to you. You can buy the special deer crackers here to feed them. Just make sure you only give them those deer crackers, not your own snacks, since other food isn't good for them. Sometimes the deer can be a bit cheeky, so be careful, but above all, treat them with respect. Not only because we should be kind to animals, but also because the shikas are considered secret messengers of the gods. So yes, be 200% respectful. Okay, let's go and say hello to my dear friends now. So, what is the best camera setting that you should use when you are taking photos when you are traveling? I guess you may have heard a lot of people recommend you to use manual mode because that is the way for you to improve your photography skills. Well, I think that is true to some extent, but if you are a complete beginner, when you are traveling, I think shooting in auto mode or P mode is completely fine. Because when you are traveling, there are already so many things that you have to worry about, and also you usually don't have a lot of time. So I think it's best to just let the camera to handle all the technical stuff so you can have hello, so you can have more energy and more time to focus on other things like composition and also enjoy your trip more. But if you are a complete beginner and you still want to be a bit more creative, I suggest you to try shooting in shutter priority mode, which is the S mode on most of the cameras. For example, you can use high shutter speed to freeze all the motion. Or if you're in a big busy city like Tokyo, that there are a lot of people, a lot of traffic, etc., then you can try use slow shutter speed, and that would help you capture the movement. So your photo will show what the city feels like. But even in place like here in Nara, which is not a big city, you can still try to be creative and use slow shutter speed to capture some interesting photo as well. So what sort of shutter speed should you try? Well, there's no fixed answer, but I suggest you start with something like 1/10 second to see how it goes, and you can adjust the shutter speed to get the result you want. But shooting at slow shutter speed, quite often your photo may be blurry because of camera shake. Now, there are a few tips if you want to shoot with a slow shutter speed. First, if your camera or your lens has image stabilization, then turn it on to reduce camera shake. And you can also try shoot in burst mode and shoot a couple of photos. Usually the first photo, because you have to press the shutter button, it may introduce a bit of extra camera shake. But if you shoot in burst mode, then the second photo onward would not have as much camera shake, and you also have a higher chance that you can get a sharp photo. Nighttime is great for experimenting with slow shutter speed. Find a place with lights in the background and try to be creative, and you can create some very interesting photos. There are a lot of cool techniques that you can try with slow shutter speed. So let me know if you want me to create a separate video to cover this topic. Copy S をペンチキ一つください。ファミマのアプリポイントカードをお持ちの方はご提示ください。Alright, now I will show you the last tip of this video. And this is a very special tip because it tied in everything together. Because I live in New Zealand, so quite often when I travel to Asia countries, for example like Japan, I will wake up really early in the morning. So I decided to try something a bit different. Instead of forcing myself to sleep until the normal wake-up time, I just wake up, grab my camera, get a cup of coffee, and go out and do a very early morning photo walk. And now I've tried it a few times. I really like it. So I pretty much tell myself that every time when I travel, I need to do at least one morning photo walk. And there are a few reasons why I really love that. The first one is when you travel, usually you will travel with your family or friends. So when you go out during the day, you usually don't have too much opportunity to slow down and take photo because you are traveling together, so you don't really want to get everyone to wait for you so that you can take your perfect photo. Instead, if you go out by yourself in the early morning when everyone else is still sleeping, so you have a lot of time just by yourself and you can spend all the time you want to slowly take photo. For example, you can practice all the other tips that I showed you earlier in this video. Try the different layering techniques, try shooting with different shutter speed, etc. You can spend all the time you want, practice all the different techniques, and try to get the perfect composition. And the second reason why I love doing the early morning photo walk is the streets are very different compared to the middle of the day. It's usually really quiet, not a lot of people. The street just feels very different compared to the rest of the day. Especially if the weather is good, then you can have some beautiful early sunlight as well. So you can either go to places that are usually very popular and busy during the day and capture some very different photo, or it's okay just to walk around. Like usually I would just walk around my hotel, just exploring the neighborhood. And usually I don't even have any special plan. I just walk around until I'm completely lost. Just one thing, if you decide that you want to try out an early morning photo walk, especially if it's before sunrise, here in Japan is good. The streets are very safe no matter where or what time it is, but it is not the same in some other countries. So use your common sense because safety is always the most important thing. Thank you very much for watching this video. If you enjoyed this video, the best way to support me is to give this video a like, drop a comment or share it with your friends. I would like to say a big thank you to Fujifilm again for their support of this video. So I think it's best to just let the camera to handle all the technical stuff. So you can have, hello, so you can have, but if you are a complete beginner, no. But if you are a complete beginner,